All right, Shalom. I want to start off as always by giving our praises and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, B'cha HaKodash. Daban is unto the apostles, the elders, and the bishops of Great Millstone. I want to send much love to the brothers out there doing this work in truth and sincerity. And I also want to send peace and blessings unto the believers of the hopeful elect. And as you can see, the title of this lesson is going to be Earth Being Observed by Aliens. And this is a response video unto this video that was put up by We On News here on YouTube. And as you can see, the title of the video reads, Earth Being Observed by Aliens, Claims U.S. Admiral. And so I'm going to play this video here, and then I will give my commentary to the Spirit of the Lord, which is Yahweh, right? Bashim Yahushai. And Lord willing, this is edifying, okay? This is very interesting, man. So without further ado, let's get into it.
As mystery over the UFOs continues to be a talking point in America, a retired American admiral has now stirred a hornet's nest with his fresh claims on aliens. In an interview with the media portal, Tim Gallaudet, who served 32 years in American Navy, claimed that aliens do exist. He said, and I'm quoting him here, "We are being visited and surveilled by a higher order of intelligence, one we do not understand." According to him, the phenomena was seen in air as well as water, maintaining that humans are not alone in this universe. He stressed that Americans have the right to know about this new reality. In the past, he has also testified before the U.S. Congress regarding these claims. Now remember, U.S. President Donald Trump announced that his administration would release as much information as possible on UFOs in the near future.
We're going to be releasing a lot of things from that we have, and I think some of it's going to be very interesting to people. I've interviewed people, my first term primarily, but I interviewed some pilots, very solid people, and they said they saw things that you wouldn't believe. So you're going to be reading about it.
In the last few months, speculation has been rising about those linked to UFO research and those seeking disclosure on aliens. For instance, the sudden death of UFO investigator David Wilcock, allegedly by suicide, sparked a controversy last week. Serving as a director of Stevati Aerospace firm, Wilcock was a major figure in the disclosure movement, which believes that the U.S. government must reveal secret information which it allegedly holds about UFOs and.
Now, real quick, this guy, David Whitlock, okay, if you watch the show, oh my God, it slipped my mind. There's no way. It's called Ancient Aliens, right? If you watch that TV show, Ancient Aliens, this guy, David Whitlock, is on that show, right? He's one of the main guys besides other individuals on there, okay? But if you watch that show, Ancient Aliens, this guy, David Whitlock, is on damn near every episode, all right? And he just died maybe a week ago, 2 weeks ago, right? They unalived him amongst other 13, 14 scientists who were linked to such information. Okay, and this is an ongoing investigation, right? They're unaliving all these scientists who were once, a part of certain intelligence movements. I mean groups amongst the American government. This is very interesting, man. Okay, but once again, if you watch Ancient Aliens, you know who David Whitlock is. All right, he stands out as one of the main speakers on so-called UFOs, okay, which that whole show is centered around so-called UFOs and aliens, so to speak, right? Just so you know. But here we go.
Life beyond Earth. And this is not all. American agencies, including the FBI, Department of War, and NASA, have all intensified their probe over the disappearance and the death of 11 American scientists allegedly linked to UFO research. Speculation is that they were targeted by America's enemies owing to their nature of work. Tim Gallaudet, who served 32 years in American Navy, claimed that aliens.
So there you have it, man. This guy, get his name. What's his name? Tim. He said that the Earth has been observed by aliens, right? Now, when the average American hears the word alien, right? This is what's come to mind, okay? If you type in the word alien, images, it says alienate. I'm sorry. Alienate. Alien, right? So when you bring up the word alien, this is the image that pops up in the mind of the average American, right? Just like when you say the word Jesus, okay, the average American pictures a white man, all right? Brad Pitt. That's who come to mind. So these people think that aliens is this strange creature with a big head, right? Big black eyes, these ET looking figures. And this is not the case, all right? This is all lies. This is all propaganda. This is not how the individuals look who control those so-called UFOs, okay? This is a complete lie. Now, when you look up the word alien here on the Etamon online dictionary, okay, it says alien, 13th century, okay? So this word was created in the 1300s, right? It says strange, foreign, an alien, stranger, foreigner, of or belonging to another, not as one own, foreign, strange, also now stranger, foreigner. So the word just means foreigner, okay, or stranger. It doesn't tell you how they look, okay? But the American government with Hollywood and movies have pushed this image so heavy that when you think about an alien, this is what comes to mind. Which is sad, okay? But most people think that this is what it is. But this is not the case, all right? All of these sightings of UFOs are not ET-looking figures. These are the angels of the Most High, okay? The angels of the Lord. And yes, they are observing the earth. They've always observed the earth, okay? They're always in the midst. They're never not in the midst, okay? The angels of the Lord are always in the midst, observing every single thing. All of us, okay, are being watched by the angels of the Lord. Just because you don't see them, right, doesn't mean you're not being watched. If the Most High was to open up your mind, you would see them, okay? And guess what? It will freak you out. It will freak you out, brother. You will bug out, okay? Matter of fact, it's a scripture with Elisha, right? So here in 2 Kings, okay, here in 2 Kings 6 verse 20, it says, and it came to pass oh my bad my bad my bad my bad it's not 6 and 20, but this is the right book. Okay, we said if I be a man of God. Okay, this is Elijah. No, that was Elisha. But yeah, so we know that Elijah called fire down from heaven, right? So Elijah called fire, but it was Elisha who told it. I forget the account. Hold up. I'm gonna grab my scriptures. Been a while since I read that account. But Elijah, our brother, know what I'm talking about. With Elisha, I mean, when the king tried to summon him, right, and the men around him got, somewhat paranoid, and they were like, "Hey, look, man, it's more than them than us." And then Elisha was like, "No, it's more of us than them." Okay, let me see here. Man, I didn't find an account real quick. I'm trying to find it. It's in Kings, 2 Kings, right? Let me see here. Let me go to cross-reference. Here we go. 6 and 17. So I was in the right chapter, right? And so here we go. 2 Kings 6 and 15, right? It says, and when the servant of the man of God was risen early and gone forth, behold, an host compassed the city, both with horses and chariots. And his servant said unto him, Alas, master, how shall we do? And he answered, Fear not, for they that be with us are more than they that be with them. And Elisha prayed and said, Lord Yahweh, I pray thee, open his eyes that he may see. And the Lord Yahweh opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw, and behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire round about Elisha. So the Lord opened the eyes of the young man, right, to see the angels, the chariots, man. They're always present, okay? See, Elisha could see them, right? He could see them. But the young man at first couldn't see them until Elisha prayed, right? He prayed so the young man could see. And then he saw a multitude of angels. So the point of the scripture is saying, look, bro, the angels are always present. They're always watching, okay? They're never not watching. This is Proverbs chapter 15 and verse 3. It says, the eyes of the Lord are in every place, beholding the evil and the good, right? Who are the eyes of the Lord? It's the angels, okay? And how do we know this? Let's go to Genesis. This is Genesis chapter 18, verse 20. It says, and the Lord Yahweh said, because the cry of Sodom and Gomorrah is great, and because their sin is very grievous, I will go down now and see whether they have altogether, whether they have all done, whether they have done altogether according to the cry of it, which is come up unto me, and if not, I will know. Now, when you jump down, okay, my bad, next chapter. Genesis 19 says what? And there came two angels to Sodom at evening, and Lot sat in the gate of Sodom, and Lot seeing them rose up to meet them, and he bowed himself with his face toward the ground. So the Lord said, I will go and see, right? But here in Genesis 19, it says two angels went down to Sodom and Gomorrah. So the eyes of the Lord are talking about the angels, okay? The messengers, which is a better word for it. Two messengers of the Lord, right? They are the eyes of the Most High. So this guy saying that earth is being observed by aliens is by the messengers of the Most High, okay? They're always watching, all right? The watchers. Matter of fact, let's get that scripture. Let's get that scripture, man. The watchers, bro. In Daniel chapter 4. This is Daniel 4 and 17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers, and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and set it up over it the basis of men. So the angels are also known as watchers, okay? They're watching everything. This is why Proverbs said what it says. It says, the eyes of the Lord Yahweh are in every place, beholding the evil and the good. So nothing is withheld on earth from the angels. They see it all, man. From the most wicked acts and abominations to the righteousness also that happen amongst the believers, okay? They get to see it all. Now, I clicked on the cross reference, okay, of the scripture. This is Proverbs 5 and 21. It says, the ways of man are before the eyes of the Lord, and he pondered all his goings. The angels watch everything, okay? 2 Chronicles 16 verse 9 says, for the eyes of the Lord run to and fro throughout the whole earth, right? Now, this portion of scripture, real quick, should make you think about the book of Job, right? When Satan and the other angels were called before the Most High, listen to what Satan said, right? So you go here to Job 1 and 6, it says, now there was a day when the sons of God came and present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them, right? So this scripture should let you know that Satan isn't in hell, okay? Now, according to the Christians, Satan is the wicked. He's the evil, I heard Chuck, that was his name? Chuck Mesler, I believe. Something like that. Hold up, you know what? His name is in these commentaries, right? Where is it? What's his name? Chuck something. Right here. Chuck Misler, right? This guy here, Chuck Misler. He said that Satan got kicked out of heaven between Genesis chapter 1 and Genesis chapter 3. Okay? He's a Christian scholar. Right? He says Satan got kicked out of heaven between Genesis chapter 1 and Genesis chapter 3. Hilarious, right? But anyway, they say that Satan is the wicked. So how is it that Satan, who was kicked out of heaven, was allowed to come back into heaven in this council? I thought he was in hell, right? Also, Peter said what? Okay, what did Peter say? You go to 1 Peter chapter 5, right? And Peter said this. It says, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. I thought he was in hell, burning with the other fallen angels, right? That's the doctrine of Christianity. These people are lost. They're lost. Satan is not in some mystical place burning in hell, man. Okay? Satan worked for the Most High just like you work for Esau. These are facts. Okay? But anyway, oh yeah, back in Job, right? It says, now there was a day when the sons of God came and presented themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them. And the Lord said unto Satan, whence comest thou? Where you come from? Right? Most ask Satan this. It says, then Satan answered the Lord and said, from going to and fro in the earth and from walking up and down in it. So Satan is roaming the earth. Okay? The Most High gave him that access. Gave him that privilege to do that. Okay? To go throughout the world. We just read in Peter. Peter said that the devil, as a roaring lion, walking about seeking whom he may devour. So Satan is here on earth putting in work, man. He's trying to get who he can get, right? And he got a lot of people, man. So when the scripture says here back in Chronicles, right? So 2 Chronicles 16:9, it says, for the eyes of the Lord, right, with the angels, run to and fro throughout the whole earth. So the angels are here all the time. They see everything all the time and nothing hidden from them, right? As it says in Proverbs 15, verse 3. They see everything. Everything's being recorded. Everything's being reported. So it's impossible to trick the Most High, okay? He sees everything. Jeremiah 23, verse 24 says, can any hide himself in secret places that I shall not see him? Said the Lord Yahweh. Do I not fill heaven and earth? Said the Lord Yahweh. So there is nothing that is hidden from the Most High. Everything is covered, man. Okay? Everything is covered. Nothing is hidden. You know what? King David said this. All right? Here in Psalms 139, King David said this. It says, Psalms 139, verse 7. Matter of fact, let's look at the NLT, right? Psalms 139, verse 7 says, I can never escape your spirit. I can never get away from your presence. If I go up to heaven, you are there. If I go down to the grave, you are there. Well, you know what? You know what? Let's get it in the KJV. Right? Real quick, right? It says, verse 8, if I ascend up into heaven, thou art there. If I make my bed in hell, behold, thou art there. So I guess the Most High is in hell. According to the Bible, right? I guess God in hell, right? I guess the Most High down there too with Satan, right? You people are lost, man. Bro, come on, bro. Come on, bro. It's talking about the grave, man. Anyway, it says, if I take the wings of the morning and dwell in the uttermost parts of the sea, even there shall thy hand lead me, and thy right hand shall hold me. So there is nowhere to hide from the Most High. Okay, brother? Nowhere to hide. The Lord sees everything all the time. Okay? It says, Hebrews 4:13, neither is there any creature, right? Which we are creatures. Man is a creature, right? It says, neither is there any creature that is not manifest in his sight. But all things, okay? All things are naked and open unto the eyes of him with whom we have to do. So the Most High sees everything, boy, all the time. So yes, the earth is being observed by the angels of the Lord. And this is why chariot sightings, okay, are being reported all the time. People seeing this, man, okay? They're seeing this. It's bugging them out. It's hella information that is being withheld from the public, okay? But people are seeing the chariots, bro, and it's messing with their minds because it's not natural, okay? To see these things, man. Matter of fact, when our forefathers was in slavery, okay, they saw the chariots. And Jake made a song, right? And they said, swing low, sweet chariots to carry me home. Matter of fact, let's Google that, okay? Swing low, sweet chariot. Hey, they're going to show you that we the Israelites too, right? So here, I'll zoom in a little bit so you see the lyrics, okay? So here it says, swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. I looked over Jordan, and what did I see? Now, why is our forefathers singing about Jordan? That's in the land of Israel. That was in America in captivity, bro. Okay. I looked over Jordan, and what did I see? Coming in the land of Israel. Okay. A band of angels coming after me, coming to carry me home. How did our forefathers know that the angels were in these chariots? How did they know that? If they weren't Israelites are in the chariots. They didn't say a band of aliens coming after me, coming to carry me home. They said the angels was in the chariots, bro. Come on, man. They weren't allowed to read. It says, if I go there before I do, coming to carry me home, tell all my friends I'm coming for to carry me home. I'm sometimes up and sometimes down, coming for to carry me home, but still my souls feel heavenly bound, coming for to carry me home. So our forefathers saw the chariots as they was in hardcore bondage, bro, catching hell. Okay? The angels was there beholding Jake, man, in captivity. And Jake cried like hell. All right? They cried like hell, bro, for some deliverance out of that situation. All right? We still crying. But the angels are bound by the command of the Lord. They ain't going to save us until Yahweh Shai come back. Then they're going to come through, bro. And they're going to answer the cry and the calling of our forefathers from 400 years ago, bro. They're going to answer that. And come and save us out of this captivity, man. And it's going to blow everybody's minds. Okay? Everybody is going to be shooken up when Yahweh Shai and the angels make that appearance, man. And come and save us, Lord willing, out of this captivity, bro. Our enemy is going to behold the salvation of the elect. That's in Revelation chapter 11. Okay? Also Baruch chapter 4. Revelation 11 verse 12 says what? It says, and they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them. So these chariots, these so-called UFOs that people are seeing, man, will come down, show themselves, and save the remnant of Israel. Okay? Yahweh Shai, the angels, are going to get busy. So yes, the UFO sightings are increasing. This information that Esau has that they haven't released yet is telling. Okay? Now, Donald Trump claimed that his administration going to release it, like the Epstein files, right? Which they ain't release all them. But they say they're going to release it for the American public, so they can be aware of these so-called aliens, right? But whatever, man. Lord will live edifying, bro. The angels of the Most High are always present. They see everything. Okay? And there will be more and more UFO sightings as we get closer to the end. And these chariots are going to be seen in detail. Okay? People are going to start giving details like Ezekiel, right? It was, hey, look, man, this chariot had this, it had that on there. I saw somebody in there, right? All praise to the Most High, man. All praise you. How about you, Most High? I pray those edifying, bro. Keep the faith, man. Keep the faith, bro. We almost about it here. Shalom.